Hey guys, and welcome to Quality Shot. I'm really excited to be joined by the pint-sized powerhouse, Rylan Charlton. How you doing, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. How you been?
I'm all good. I'm all good.
Good.
As you said, you're in a little bit of a construction site at the moment, but it looks like it's shaping up quite nicely anyway. The doors and the frames, etc. So
Yeah,
that
I
looks
mean
all good.
we're getting there. The doors are probably the only good bit in the house. The rest of it is just a building site, but it's all part of the fun, and I'm getting around to doing it.
Yeah, it's exciting. At least you can make it your own, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So let's touch upon something that's recently just happened. Then, so you have linked up with Carl Greaves. I guess walk me through the decision to link up with him.
So I feel like after my last fight, there could have been a few more game plans. I thought while I was in there. And plus, I've been with my previous trainer, Frank Sixes. I've been with him since my amateur days, in a way. His dad used to train me as an amateur, and then Frank, his son, then got his pro license out, and then we kind of done our own journey together, it was good, but it got to the point where sometimes you just got to move on to learn new stuff and just get just like a fresh start. So I fancied a fresh start, and yeah, my manager Dan Naylor used to be a professional boxer, and Carl Greaves used to manage him. So that's how I know the connection between them, kind of thing. And then yeah, I went for a trial session with Carl Greaves, and I really enjoyed it. And especially what he's done with Avanesyan, he's brought him on very well. And I'm the style that he likes to train, so we're going to make a good team. And yeah, we're learning stuff already, so I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to touch upon Avanesyan, and I guess both of you guys are all action style, aren't you? Really, it's just that action packed and definitely fan friendly style. And he's brought on Avanesyan like leaps and bounds, and obviously had that really impressive win against Josh Kelly recently as well, which I think people were really impressed by. So yeah, that's definitely a good sign as well. For you, talking of like weight divisions, so Avanesyan's in the 147 division. You recently fought there against Florian Marku, but I heard yourself and also Carl Greaves recently say that you probably were too high up in weight, and maybe you should be down at 140 or potentially even 135.
Yeah.
I know you fought 140 before, but what's your preferred weight going forward, or is it more just kind of get a nutritionist on board, or get someone to look at it and see where you can ball down to?
Yeah, so we'll get a nutritionist on board, and we'll kind of see how far we can get down. I'm pretty sure I'll do 135. I mean, I'm only a stone off of lightweight now. When I'm walking around, I'm super unfit. I'm eating what I want. I'm not dieting, so I'm only a stone overweight to lightweight kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure we'll go for the lightweight one, because I mean these welterweights are massive, and it hurts when they hit you. Honestly, that last fight, God, you feel it kind of thing. So yeah, the guys are just a lot bigger naturally. I mean, I walk around at the welterweight limit when I'm unfit, so I never should have been in at welterweight, but I boxed Joe Laws, I think, welterweight, and after that Eddie Hearn wanted to see me in with another welterweight, and we gave it a go, but yeah, it didn't pay off. So I think we'll get down to the lightweight division is what we're going to go for.
Yeah, which, I mean, to be honest with you, that will be incredible in a way that your power will definitely be bigger that way, because you definitely had power at 147, dropping Florian Marku, and that was evident, especially, stopping Joe Laws as well. So clearly you carried power even up potentially 2 divisions above where you should be. So I think at lightweight, it'll be incredible. And the lightweight division is like on fire, I think, domestically and also globally at the moment as well. And it's a really talked about division, which is great to see. I just want to very briefly touch upon your last fight. I mean, you dropped Florian Marku first, and I think a lot of people were thinking you're actually going to get him out of there. And obviously it just turned on its head, and it was a really, really, I think, exciting fight for the fans anyway. Obviously, I'm assuming you were very disappointed with it, but after, was it just a case of, look, as you said, maybe I just, not necessarily that I went too far in terms of opponent, but it's just the weight was just too much to, I guess, bridge the gap?
Yeah, I'd say the weight was a massive thing, because I've got my power, and I still can, bring it up to the welterweight, which is great, but it's still not as effective. Like, I was catching Marku with some big shots, and he kind of brushed it off. He could kind of take my power a bit. I did manage to get him down, which I was happy about, which stopped him talking, which was nice. But I do feel like, my power is my biggest asset, and when you take that away from me a little bit, at the welterweight, they can kind of withstand it. But going down to the lightweight, I'll still carry my power, which would be great, but you're then going into the small leg and be speedy. So it's going to be the speed now I need to be working on. So there's a lot to be working on, but it's all exciting. I mean, being with Carl Greaves already, I'm already learning so much new stuff. So I will be a different animal in my return fight.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. You said that you had Avanesyan talking to you, and it stopped him talking. What was he saying to you in the ring?
Oh, he was saying, Florian Marku was saying all sorts of stuff, like, I think he was saying stuff like, I'm no Joe Laws, and this doesn't hurt, and just all this crap. And end of the day, I want to stick the head in and get real stuck in. But like, boxing match, you've got to stick to the rules. That's like, as soon as he went down, I want to stick the boot in and let's go, get him out of there. But yeah, he was talking a lot, but he got a little more respect for me after I did put him on his ass.
Yeah, it's funny because you always, on TV, when you're watching it, you can see people talking, and I always wonder, like, I wonder what they're saying to each other, because obviously something that's quite funny, but I'm always intrigued to know. For those who are not super familiar with, I guess, your journey so far, and also how you got into boxing, you want to touch a little bit upon, I guess, how you came upon boxing as well, how you got into it, and how that interest kind of grew from a younger age?
Yeah, so I was always a little bit of a hyperactive kid. I still am pretty hyperactive now as an adult, but I used to like just fighting quite a lot at school and just play fighting and stuff, and then just a group of me and about four other friends went down to the local boxing club, and then got stuck into that, and then I just ended up sticking at it, and I think I was probably about 14. Ended up had around 50 odd amateur bouts, but I didn't really ever like focus on boxing as an amateur. I used to like just getting in there, having a fight kind of thing, and that was that. I never really stuck at it. And then as he got the levels in the amateurs, they're very skillful, and I wasn't committed enough to it, and I got beat a few times, and I started thinking I might as well get paid for getting punched in the head. So thought I might as well turn pro and give that a go. And I think I turned pro at 25, so quite late really to turn pro, but I wasn't ready and to turn pro any sooner. But yeah, I've always just liked fighting and thought I'd learn how to do it properly. And now here I am. I get punched in the head for a living. It's great fun.
Isn't it? I think it's Tony Bellew said that, boxers, they have to, he said, like, us guys even, sorry, have to have like a slight screw loose to enjoy getting hit in the face. and he said you need to be a specific type of person.
Yeah, you've got to be really, like, because people say the next day after the Marku fight, God, my face was a mess. I couldn't move it. I couldn't barely chew anything. And I do just look at myself and think, why am I doing this? There's obviously something not right here that makes you want to do that. But yeah, even though I got a beating that night, I'm still raring to go and wanting to crack on again.
Yeah. Well, I guess all I can say is I probably can't understand it, but I can see why people love watching it. And I guess the adrenaline that you get from it, I guess that's why when people retire, a lot of boxers struggle, don't they, to kind of fit in or kind of definitely replace that adrenaline rush from being it seems to be incredible.
It is a hell of a rush, and it's kind of like an addictive rush. Like you walk out there on that stage, it's like, like thousands of people are watching, everyone's there. It's like, it's a hell of a rush. And then when that goes, it is a bit like, well, what do I do now? Like you feel like you need that rush back. So yeah, it is very addictive. But you do, you've got to be quite strong-minded, I think, in this game. So you stay focused on the goal, and you don't go down different routes that can get you that same kind of buzz. You got to stick very focused to the game.
Yeah, that I think definitely in all elite sports, I feel like you have to be mentally tough, but I think especially in boxing as well, it seems 100%. And talking of, I guess, your goals for the rest of this year, how many times would you like to get out? And do you have any kind of goals in mind? I guess, especially as you're starting a new weight as well. I'm assuming there might be a bit more feeling out process in the first couple of fights.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get another fight hopefully. End of summer, maybe August, September. Hopefully, get another fight, and then yeah, we'll get back on winning streak, and then we'll see where it takes us, kind of thing. I wouldn't mind getting 2 more fights in this year. I don't know whether that will be possible or not. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, a few more fights maybe next year. Hopefully, a title for next year would be nice. And yeah, conquer that lightweight division. That's the plan.
Nice. Yeah, maybe you can get a fight in Eddie's backyard. So
yeah, that'd be all right, wouldn't it?
How is it actually? Because you're signed to Matchroom, aren't you now? So how has it been? I guess being under the machine that is Matchroom, and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing have been doing a lot for boxing, not just here in the UK, but now globally, and they're churning out a lot of fighters and really progressing them, pushing them forward. What's your experience been, I guess, under them so far?
It's been good. I've really enjoyed it. Like I love the bubble time when we were going into the bubble together and like living alongside your opponent. It's entertaining. It's fun. It's a bit of a buzz as well. You get an adrenaline buzz for like the whole week, I feel like. So yeah, it's been good, and I feel more relaxed being with Matchroom now. I feel like the hardest part of boxing was me boxing on the small hall shows, being on the small hall shows, selling the tickets, trying to get people to come to your fights, and fighting in little like leisure centres and small sort of venues. Going to the big stage has been great. It's been like a whole weight lifted. All I can focus on now is 100% training, not having to. Eventually we'll get people back for crowds, for tickets and stuff, which will be great because now I've built up a fan base. It'll be easier for me to sell tickets. Beforehand, you're trying to get anyone just to come to your fights, just to support you, so you can fight, kind of thing. So that's the hardest side of boxing. I feel like since I've been on the big stage and with Eddie Hearn, it's just been nice. I've been can sit back and relax, do my training, and yeah, focus on that more than trying to sell tickets.
That's fair enough. And also, I guess what a lot of people want to know is Eddie Hearn exactly like how we see him on the interviews and all the memes that get made of him? Is that what he's actually like in person as well when you speak to him?
Oh, I've only really, spoke to him a little bit during the press conference and stuff. He's a decent guy. Yeah, he seems like he has a laugh. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a character. I think he's definitely is Eddie Hearn. But he definitely is extremely good at what he does. So yeah,
he's smashing it, isn't he?
Yeah, he is 100%. Before we wrap up, I actually wanted to get your thoughts on a couple of upcoming or potential fights for the rest of the year, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so the first one is, I guess, in the division that you're now going to be campaigning at lightweight. So Devin Haney versus Jorge Linares. How do you think that's going to
go? I'll be really honest with you. I'm not a massive boxing fan. I don't watch too much of it. I know Devin Haney's obviously the world champion and all that, and Linares, he's really good, but I don't see enough of their stuff to kind of comment. But I'm going to say Devin Haney because he's young, he's fresh, he's the one that's going to continue, I feel like.
So I'll give you a couple of more familiar ones then maybe. Chisora Parker coming up.
I think Chisora. He's just hard as nails, isn't he? And I feel like he'll just get in there and he's a proper fighter. I'm hoping he'll win anyway. He's the one I'm rooting for.
Okay, that would be definitely a fantastic fight, I think. And I guess then the last one is hopefully the one that is going to be huge for UK boxing, and they're saying it's all done, but it's not official yet, is AJ and Fury. Yeah,
so I feel like anything can happen in the big weights, can't it? Like one punch can change it all. But I'm gonna say Fury, to be honest. I probably should say Joshua because he's my old stable mate and all that, as they say. But I'm gonna go for Fury. But Joshua can bang and he can box, so I don't know. Anything can happen, really. It's going to be interesting. It's a good fight. I'm looking forward to it being announced as it's official and the venue and all that. I'm looking forward to hearing about all that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, hopefully it does. And is there anything you want to touch upon before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'll just give my sponsors a shout out if that's all right.
Yeah, of course.
So I want to shout out. I've got Harmony Consultant Group. I've got T Griffiths Holding. I've got We Solve All, Assemble Scaffolding, Minton Care Home, and Fire Snuff. Just want to say thank you very much for sponsoring me and keeping me in the game.
Perfect. No, all good. And thank you very much for being on. I really appreciate it again. And hopefully we hear some fight news in the coming month or so. And yeah, we can catch up then as well. And hopefully have a little catch up. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I think here it's pretty sunny, so I hope it's sunny there as well. You get out.
Yeah, it's a bit grey out there, but it'll still have a nice day.
Yeah, it's better than the snow that we had a couple of weeks back. So
yeah, it is, isn't it?
Perfect. All the best, mate. And yeah, have a good one.
Hey, nice to speak to you.